Bradford and Widnes, Leeds and Warrington, Wigan and Halifax, and Wigan already 4-0 up at the JJB Stadium. Highlights and reports in the morning, Sky Sports News. Saturday, 6:05, Griffin Park. It's London against Castleford. That's live on Sky Sports 2. And the Salford City Reds and Wakefield Wildcats complete round 17 on Sunday at 3 at the Willows. Again, Sky Sports News, that's channel 408 on Sunday evening from 9. Now then, don't forget, for Sky Digital viewers, you can keep abreast of the Leeds-Warrington match at the same time as events here at the Boulevard by using our interactive service. And this is how you do it. Press red and select Active Super League for your choice of enhanced viewing. Choose red from the menu for all the action from the main programme. What a young star this fellow is, developing week on week. Hitting back up at any time returns you to the Active Super League menu. By selecting the green button, you can watch coverage of another live Super League match. You'll never have to miss out on the action again with our highlights service. This is available by pressing yellow. Oh, Costin got to it and will score! Try is given to Bradford. For the fact fanatic, our stats option on blue covers match facts from the main programme and scores from other live games. So for the most extensive rugby league coverage, it has to be Active Super League. But this is the main event at the Boulevard, and it's Russell Smith, the match referee. Russell Smith will also be in Australia with Great Britain. He's been chosen by Stuart Cummings to officiate in next Friday's test. Let's wish him bon voyage as well. Hope he has a big game to send him to the Southern Hemisphere. Matt Crowther gets this game underway at the Boulevard, and David Waite, the Great Britain coach, will now be keeping every finger crossed, because there are 5 St Helens players, 1 Paul King from Hull, who are on the plane in the morning, and he just hopes that everybody comes through unscathed and the 19 first-choice men go out to Australia for that test next Friday. It's the Saints who are in possession with that great defence here from Hull. They will be buoyed by the fact that Jason Smith has signed a new 2-year deal. He is their team. Prescott, Rayner, Mackay. Yeeman comes in the centres. Coelove's injured. Crowther, Horn and Smith the captain. And the forwards, Greenhill, Jackson and King. Marr, Ryan and Chester. And the substitutes, Logan, Cook, Carvel and Parker. Coach Sean McRae. Now the Saints, who are on the last tackle, and the kick from Tommy Martin. Wellens, Albert, Gleeson, Newlove, Stewart, Sculthorpe and Martin. The forwards, Britt, Cunningham and Nicol, joint the skipper, Stankiewicz and Shields. And the bench is occupied by Hoppy, Ward, Hyam and Bennett. And the coach is Ian Milward. So the match underway. Saints have had their first set of 6. This now is Gareth Rayner for Hull as they try to work the ball away from their own try line.
And not a bad set of 6 either by St Helens, though the kick was poor. That was brought about by good effort on the Hull defence. They put the pressure on the kicker, which is Tommy Martin. And that's a poor kick as well.
Straight down the throat of Darren Albert. He tips it inside to Paul Wellens. Good chase, though, by Sean Ryan.
Big problem in the Hull side. The winger, Matt Crowther, he seems to have picked up a knock on his, I think it's a right leg. He's having a lot of trouble with it.
And this is Kieran Cunningham. And that's a big hit by Jason Smith and Richard Horn, or rather Richard Horn and Lee Jackson it was. This now is Sculthorpe.
Well, any thought of any of these players? 5 from St Helens and, of course, 1 from Hull, Paul King, that's on that flight tomorrow to Australia. A lot of people thought that they would just hang back a little. I can assure you they won't. Once the adrenaline gets running through the body, you play to win, irrespective of what's happening.
Great kick from Sculthorpe, well picked up by Graham Mackay, but Mackay is trapped in goal by the chasing Sculthorpe and Wellens as well.
Well, the big fella did exceptionally well. Once again, the skills from Sculthorpe. See how it was spinning there, and the big fella Mackay scooped it with one hand. Playing in the right-hand centre position, Mackay. That's his favourite spot, but of course, normally taken by Toa Love. He's out injured tonight, so expect a big one from Graham Mackay.
Yes, he will have to try and do a defensive job on Paul Newlove. Here now is Sonny Nicol for the Saints.
Be interesting to see how the youngster Kirk Yeaman handles the fact that the new star on the horizon, Martin Gleeson, another one going down under.
Cunningham, the dummy half. It's with Darren Britt. Of course, Saints fresh from that wonderful win against Bradford last Friday night. Here is Cunningham. He's wiped the tackle count down as the referee. This is Gleeson, and Gleeson will skip his way in for St Helens. First try of the night to Martin Gleeson, and he just wants to take a look at the play of the ball first.
The way I read it, that was Paul King pulled the ball out on the one-on-one, so there was an advantage to play on. Just have a look and check it, please.
Well, it looked all right from that angle, but I think it was just a bit of a bobble before that. Big fella, Darren Britt, was playing the football. Here he is, he takes it through.
This is what he wants to look at.
Was it ripped out?
Well, Hull there, Lee Jackson immediately is asking for a knock-on.
Well, we'll see it better from the head-on shot, but the referee, Russell Smith, exclaiming that it was reefed out deliberately, and I think he's got it right. One-on-one, ball went back. Britt has every right to drop on it. The tackle count was restarted. Therefore, the try will stand. It's got to be TRY for mine.
The video referee tonight is Jerry Kershaw. He wants another look at it.
Now then, did he do that deliberately? That's what he's got to decide, or whether it was accidental. It happens a lot. It's a big call from the video referee, but I'm confident. The video referee isn't, though. Now then, is he dragging the shirt? He drags the shirt, and I think he deliberately releases that ball away from the hands of Darren Britt. I think he'll stick it.
And the try is given. Martin Gleeson gets try number 5. He used to live in Australia. He returns there in the morning with Great Britain. What a fantastic trip for this young man.
A little bit of doubt on the final one, and Hull paid the price. They had 3 men in the marking situation. Instead of arguing with the referee, they really should have gone it. There was a bit of a doubt about that last pass to Gleeson. The officials saw nothing wrong with it, and they were really caught out here. Beautiful pass there from Sculthorpe, as always. And there was nothing that young Kirk Yeaman could do about this. But you see how they should have moved into the face. They allowed it. They were hanging back with the defence. They were all at sea. Half of the side was worrying about what the official should have been doing. You play to the whistle.
And this now is Sculthorpe with the conversion attempt. Oh, he drifts it over the top of the crossbar brilliantly. A wonderful kick again from Paul Sculthorpe. And St Helens with an early lead, 6 points to 0. Try scorer Martin Gleeson, rated by none other than Eric Ashton as a potential all-time great in the near future, Martin Gleeson, and that is one heck of a rap from Mr. Ashton.
It sure is. One of the greatest was Eric, without doubt. A lot on his shoulders. Let's hope that that he can handle the pressure. So often in the past, Eddie, we've made stars of these youngsters when they're not really ready for it. Let's hope that this trip to Australia will certainly help in the, well, perfection of Martin Gleeson.
Sean McRae, the Hull coach, of course, he needs no introduction to St Helens, and that was a high challenge on Peter Shields by Jason Smith. Sean McRae in charge of St Helens, of course, in the early years of the Super League competition.
Well, I don't think it was all that bad, actually, although on that angle perhaps, but he certainly looked concerned on that angle. Yeah, 50-50. Peter Shields definitely felt it.
And that's a knock-on, and Sean Ryan has it back for Hull. I think the penalty was given because the tackler jumped in to the tall fella.
Well, they're relieved about that, because
Saints
Hull
now have conceded a penalty.
Hull have had no possession whatsoever. It's been all Saints in the opening 6 minutes.
Penalty for interference at the play of the ball as Sean Ryan was trying to get to his feet. Here then is Paul King, also on the plane. The only Hull representative so far, though there are a couple on standby, just in case anything untoward happens tonight. This is Greenhill now for Hull, the first real opportunity that Hull have had to attack this line. Bradford are 12 and up over Widnes after just 20 minutes of the first half. Lee Jackson's the dummy half here for Hull. Greenhill to Jason Smith, And hitting the pass there was Chris Chester. And now it's with Paul King. And King brushing away one defender, gets there. That's a great effort from Paul King. A terrific effort from the big prop forward, King. And if David Waite is watching this on TV tonight, there's a little nudge that King fancies his chances against the Aussies next Friday.
Well, they were so disappointed to miss out on the opportunity to take on the Australians last year in the 3-test series. And he really has come alive. It's been a slow start this year for this fella. Through the dummy, and of all people, it was Chris Joynt that went high. You don't normally see him get pushed away, but that is sheer upper body strength from King. Superb stuff. The men from the Boulevard, they're back into it. Neat little nod on by King there. That's how much he enjoyed it. We got a game on.
We certainly have, and what a time for Paul King to come up with his first try at the Boulevard. In Super League 7, of course. And it's Matt Crowther now with this conversion attempt. Back for the last two. He missed Leeds and Wigan. Scottish international Crowther. And his kick has levelled the scores. It's Hull 6, St Helens 6. And Hull desperately needing the win themselves to stay in touch with the clubs hunting that top 3 finish. They're level pegging with St Helens.
Well, Chris Joynt will not, watching this on the video, it wasn't so much as a dummy, more of a push, but that is great strength. Rather interesting, whilst they were adding the extra 2 points. The crowd here, they love to sing here, of course. Old Faithful is their favourite song, but they were saying, are you watching David Waite? I think he is.
Well, here is the hero of the moment, the try scorer, taking on Shields and driving it hard and straight right into his chest. But Nicol and Joynt, they pulled him down, but it was just too much. And King just losing his footing as he took a very quick tap penalty.
Well, I think he tried to avoid the referee, Russell Smith, who had not realised that he'd gone for the quick tap.
This is Sean Ryan now. Jason Smith hands the ball on. Oh, nearly away was Prescott, hauled down by Sculthorpe. Now, was he tackled without the football then?
Well, he's claiming it, the full back. Prescott certainly tried to get to that football. It looked as though with a pair of hands on it. Play on, says the official.
So here comes St Helens then on the counter-attack.
There's the offload. No, that's okay.
Just a knock on by Prescott, former St Helens man. Beautiful reverse pass from Cunningham, and on it goes from Stankovic to Sculthorpe, who was hunted down all the way by Craig Greenhill, who made the initial error with the pass. Here now is Gleeson, the St Helens try scorer, skips inside Jackson, but can't get away from Adam Marr. Cunningham is the dummy half for St Helens. Darren Britt, the big man, 10 metres away. Good ball to Shields. Oh, and a dangerous tackle.
Good offload by Shields. Nearly produced a try to Britt, not the best kick.
And Gareth Rayner takes the ball over the dead ball line. It's a dropout underneath the sticks here for Hull.
Well, I was just about to say it was a poor kick here by Tommy Martin. Ricocheted away. It was good play by Newlove eventually, but Rayner, he'd read it all the way. But well, he did well to get to it on the second occasion. Ian Millwood, of course.
Surely, well, if he went for the grubber kick, though, Steve-O, and missed it on the first occasion, that should have been a knock-on, shouldn't it?
Well, it should have been, but I think it just skirted the outside of the boot. It's pretty hard for the official to pick that. Just saying, though, Ian Millwood has fond memories, of course. I think he was officiated here as the first game as coach of St Helens. I think they won that particular night 2 years ago.
Yes, March 2000, the 28-20 victory. Since then, he's claimed the Super League Championship, the World Club Championship and the Challenge Cup. It's not been a bad haul for him. He is here tonight, aiming for his 100th win as a coach, both at Lee, where he began, and at St Helens. So an important night for him. This is Chris Joynt now, his captain.
Well, dare I say it, but I think Ian Millwood and Sean McRae between them had probably had the most silverware in the Super League era. Am I right?
Probably personally you're right, but in terms of clubs, it's the two most successful clubs are Bradford Bulls and the Saints. You're absolutely right, probably personally, yes. Sculthorpe was missed out then, it went on the bounce to Wellens, on then to Stankovic. Stankovic jinks through and he will score. Well, Hull won't enjoy looking at that defence. But Stankovic will. In the standby squad, and the Hull coach Sean McRae looking just a little bit perplexed at where his defence was then. And John Stankovic gives David Waite a nudge. If there is any casualties this evening, John Stankovic is a candidate for the trip.
Well, he may be on standby, but he's certainly throwing down the gauntlet. This is a good effort. I know the defence, you said, was a little bit poor, but let's not take anything away from the stepping ability. Good offload from Helens and back on the inside. And it's becoming a little bit of a problem for this youngster, Kirk Yeeman. That's the second mistake, second missed tackle. But what a step from this fella, Stankovic. Start of the future, little doubt about that.
Well, Stankovic's try, that's 2 tries here already conceded by Hull. And Sean McRae will be wondering where the defensive effort went from last week's win at Castleford, their first in 11 years, and they were absolutely wonderful in defence. King has got blood coming from the mouth, so he presumably is in the blood bin, as Sculthorpe just nonchalantly almost side-foots the ball over the top of the bar for the second conversion. Hull 6, then 12, St Helens 12.
Well, you can see Yeeman there, his circle is in no man's land. You've got to make sure you get man on man. And once he slipped, sadly, and the step was there.
Just gone a little bit quiet here. John Stankovic. He is a man who has played prop, second row or centre. He really is a man who epitomises Ian Millward's play anywhere approach to rugby league. Crowther kicks off. Let's go down to the sideline and hear this evening from the first time from Phil Clark.
One of the interesting things we've seen in the first 11 minutes is St Helens' ability to force their opponents into a goal line dropout. On the 2 occasions they've done that, once through a magnificent kick from Paul Sculthorpe, and the second one, the short toe into the in-goal area. They've come away with 2 tries, and that really shows you the value of being able to force your opponents into drop kicking out from under your opponents. It's the perfect place to work from attack from, and it's something that St Helens are doing very well.
Helens carries the ball forward again, operating at full-back from the start tonight. Here is Cunningham, who made such an impact on his return last week against Bradford. He lasted 74 minutes, and same again here tonight. He will be battle-hardened for the test match next Friday. Cunningham again feeds the ball left and finds Joint.
Well, he'll cut them apart, Eddie, if Cunningham has allowed the space that he had on that last occasion. First and second markers not working for Hull at the moment. They've got to get themselves sorted out.
Sculthorpe with the kick, and this will turn Steve Prescott around, and Prescott allows the ball to bounce. He took the gamble, and it skipped away over the dead ball line. Steve Prescott, of course, who played for St Helens, who just about enjoying the greater possession in this first half in the opening 14.5 minutes.
Well, I must say that Steve Prescott would be quite happy that it bounced accordingly, it went away. He was in a bad position, really should never allow the ball to bounce like that, especially the high kick. And they've got 2 great exponents in the St Helens side in Paul Sculthorpe and, of course, Tommy Martin.
Leeds ahead against Warrington at Headingley. Here it's St Helens ahead against Hull at the Boulevard. Let's go downstairs again, join Bill Arthur this time for news of an injury.
Well, it was Paul King we saw coming off with what looked like a nasty cut in the face. It's inside his mouth, and he's been actually taken to the dressing room to have stitches put in that. No sign that he was groggy or anything like that.
Thanks, Bill.
Pretty high from Stankovic there. Officials didn't see it.
Chris Chester did. He felt it. This is Jason Smith. The pass to Carvel.
Well, that certainly was high, especially when you reflect back on the one that Jason Smith got penalised for.
Great ball to Rayner.
What great defence.
2 fantastic passes then. First from Ryan, second from Ryan, first from Horn. This is Jason Smith. Jason Smith trying to barge his way to the line, and St Helens caught offside.
Good
Hull get
refereeing
the
there.
penalty.
Absolutely superb by Russell Smith there.
Quick tap taken. This is Carvel. Hull fancy their chances of levelling the scores here. Carvel wrestled to the ground.
What a great covering tackle by Helens. It was superb.
This is Chris Chester. A knock on against Jason Smith. He will say that came off his ankles. Sean McRae might say that as well.
Well, I think he also felt that it went behind him. You'll see better on the screen. Pretty hard to see from that angle. Stankovic was in view. Looked all right. I don't know why that was given. But Russell Smith does not have the advantage of the slow motion replay. We do.
Saints then with the possession. Wellens had to stretch for that pass from the base of the scrum.
I just get the feeling, Eddie, I mentioned the fact that 5 from St Helens, 1 from Hull, which is Paul King having treatment off the field. I said that they wouldn't bother about, they wouldn't have their minds on the plane, but I just get the impression that they want to get on with playing fancy football, but they don't need they're not wanting to give the intensity in the defence.
Here now is Sculthorpe, he offloads to Britt. This is Martin. Here is Stankovic. They look in the mood at St Helens, and high from Carvel now.
No doubt about that one. Another little word. Full credit though to Stankovic. He hits the deck here and bounces straight back. He certainly hit him on the chest first, but it's where you finish. He gave him a little bit of a finish with the elbow as well. Watch, there's the impact on the chest. He goes straight into his face, but I'm just saying full credit to Stankovic. He jumped straight up, no rolling around, no histrionics. I mean, it's the way it should be played, sport. Get on with it.
Sonny Nicol now for St Helens. Driving in again. Greenhill stands his ground. Wellens, the dummy half. He'll scamper forward again, and Greenhill once again with the tackle on Paul Wellens. It's with Cunningham. Here's Wellens again. They come down the short side. Wellens is after a try. He's just short.
Ooh, desperation there to stop him.
Carvel with an important tackle. This is Cunningham. It comes wide to Tommy Martin. Oh, an interception by Mackay.
Oh, timely one as well. They had the overlap. He took the gamble, did the experienced centre Mackay, and came up with it.
Bradford have raced into an 18-0 lead over Widnes after 38 minutes. All gone a little bit wrong for Widnes over the past couple of weeks. This is Rayner now, off to pastures new at the end of the current season. Gareth Rayner. Jackson to Jason Smith, and this is a possible 40-20 from Smith, but it's bounced in back into the field of play. Stewart's after it, Ryan's after him. Good pass to Wellens. Good wall of defence now for Hull has arrived.
Good kick and chase, but a good combination between the fullback and the winger Stewart. Wellens made sure he got back so that Stewart wouldn't be caught in that far corner.
Cunningham now, driving the ball at Jackson. And a good job that there was somebody down low. It was Richard Horn.
That's the best way to stop Cunningham, that is for sure. Try to go high, he's so strong. Swats him off like a fly.
Sculthorpe takes the tackle, 40 metres away from his own line. Cunningham to Martin, who goes for the 40-20 now. This one has got chances. Oh no, it skips up, and Crowther is able to pick it up and run the ball back at the blue line of defence. He gives it then in field to Prescott, who is immediately dumped to the ground by Martin in a combination with Chris Joint.
There's a problem for Matt Crowther. I mentioned earlier that he picked up a knock on the leg. He was very, well, not lazy, but he was struggling to get away when he took that ball. And he was looking to offload straight away. Good work from the standoff, Horn.
Great run. He bounced off Martin, got away from Stankovic. Sonny Nicol had to come in as the third tackler. This is Greenhill to Chester. Big hit by Sculthorpe. It's boiling up this now, midway through this first half. Both sides to the pace of the match. Stankovic with a high, bit of a reckless challenge on Marr. This is Carvel.
Well, I think both coaches have realised that they've got to lift that intensity, especially in defence. Here's the first kick from Smith.
It's a cracker as well. It's a tester for Stewart. Oh, he's taken out by Mackay.
No doubt about it. Tried to hide it. Mackay made no attempt to go for this footballer here. Tommy Martin tried to obstruct him, but there was no effort on the big fella then.
He's suffering a bit of a drought, is Graham Mackay. Just one try in the last 4. 14 tries for the season, though, but former Hull favourite Tavita Vaikona is currently the leading try scorer in the Super League, and with Bradford running the points in against Widnes at the moment, he might be adding to that tally.
Well, you normally put the marker on doing bad things, Eddie. Maybe you put the marker on Graham Mackay in reverse.
Oh, Kieran Cunningham. Was that a finger in the eye then?
Yeah. It was a stray one, and I think he's struggling.
Oh dear.
Referee, yeah. It was an accident. Well,
got a thumb in the eye, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, let's hope, from a British point of view, there's nothing untoward here.
Nothing worse than that, I can assure you. And it's very, very difficult.
Well, they're asking for a blood bin change for Kieran Cunningham.
Yeah. The stray thumb from
That's painful.
Jason Smith. Believe you me, he'll be trying to focus as quickly as possible.
So on comes Mickey Hyam.
What a great substitute as well.
Oh, some vital tackles last week against Bradford. Ian Millwood a little concerned about Cunningham, and I'm sure David Waite will be as well. And they're taking a very close look at the eye.
Well, by the look of where the blood is bleeding out, the first impact certainly wasn't right into the eye socket, which, if it's any consolation, it will be a help.
Oh, lovely ball from Sculthorpe to Wellens. On his throughs, Prescott. Yeaman got to him, but Hyam was there in support. They'll switch the attack now down the left. Good ball from Martin. A great run as well. And it was Chris Joint on the angle.
Well, that's tissue paper defence. That is woeful. Sean McRae will be livid.
Shields with a dab to the in-goal area. Too deep, yes. Gleeson was hunting, but Shields' kick was too strong. But yes, the whole defence is a little suspect at the moment.
Oh, paper thin. Not about effort in the end. Gleeson was honing in on it. It's not in his bag of tricks normally, Peter Shields, the kicking game. Well, roll the sleeves up. There's a couple of words that come to mind that Sean McRae might be saying to his charges. Say, come on.
Quick hands, oh, but Marr under pressure from Darren Albert, spills it, and Gleeson drops on it gratefully.
Great example of man-on-man defence from St Helens.
Sonny Nicol now taking on Greenhill up the middle. Jackson's low down.
Someone must go for the legs every time the ball carrier moves towards you. One over the top, stop the pass. All being well, that's good, but you need someone on the legs there. Jackson is leading the way. That's what's needed.
Newlove takes the tackle. Mickey Hyams the dummy half. Here now is Sculthorpe, and he then finds Wellens. Wellens trying to go round Chester and round Marr, but can't on that occasion.
It's amazing with Wellens, you know, he does everything as though it's in slow motion, but he's so deceptive.
Shields. 4 tackles gone for St Helens here. They're 8 metres away, and it's Hyam to Sculthorpe. And Sculthorpe offloads to Hyam, ball goes to ground.
That's play on. That's back to 6.
It is back to 6.
Definitely went for that football. Sculthorpe did well to get away from the clutches, and there again they're going high.
Nicol is eventually forced to ground, but a consecutive set of 6 here against this Hull defence as Nicol gets to his feet, pushes and shoves. And who's got the penalty here? I think it's St Helens.
Well, I'll go for the 2 points. Jason not too impressed with the official. Yeah, hanging on to him. Wants to be released. Sonny Nicol made it quite clear to the whistleblower. And this will be a gift 2 points.
Yes, it's bang in front, so Paul Sculthorpe will take the shot at goal. Jason Smith is in the picture there. This is his 12th start at scrum half, and with the new deal safely in the safe here at the Boulevard, it has proved a terrific lift for the Hull club and coach and director of rugby Sean McRae, that he's been signed for the next 2 years, and Scott Logan as well, by the way. The deal with Sean McRae that he will stay here till the end of 2005.
Well, you're just seeing Sean McRae there, and I'm sure that it's going to be a dodgy 15 minutes for the coach, because he needs to have a good word to them. They look all at sea. St Helens still utilising that flat attack, but they're getting through the half breaks.
Sculthorpe is successful with the penalty, so the Saints are ahead by 14 points to 6 now. But Sean McRae will be just a little concerned about this Hull defence, I think. Let's get news on the 2 injured players we've seen going off, who are due to fly out with Great Britain tomorrow. Kieran Cunningham, Paul King. Bill?
The news on Kieran Cunningham, he's sitting in that St Helens dugout. There he is, ice firmly clenched against that left eye, and I think he's going to have a bit of a shiner, but according to the Saints physio team, they've done the old how many fingers am I holding up, that sort of routine, and everything's all right in that respect. So just a bit of a poke in the eye for Kieran Cunningham. Paul King, meanwhile, another Great Britain squad member, is I think still in the dressing room and has had a couple of stitches. He's gone back out, I beg his pardon, but Paul King has got a couple of stitches right on the end of his nose, just in that fleshy piece, which can really bleed, and Paul King knows all about that now.
Well, so do you, Eddie.
26 minutes of the match gone. Hyam gets the ball away to Nicol.
Been impressed the way that St. Helens yet again are twisting in the tackle. There's good support too. They're getting the offloads.
Good kick from Martin. He's gone looking for a 40-20. Oh, it's just the wrong side of the corner flag. And there is Kieran Cunningham on his way to the dressing room.
On your 10-6.
And that's a worrying sight for Great Britain.
Lee, wait.
Well, obviously the doctor's made a decision, or that man there, Ian Millward, to say, well, it's no point in risking him. And when you look at this bench, Mick Hyam already on the field is such a talented player, young Hyam. He'll have every confidence, Ian Millward, that he can carry the can, and he sure can.
Jackson to Mackay. A drive forward by Graham Mackay. Now Gareth Rayner to show a clean pair of heels, he hopes, to the St Helens defence. Not on this occasion. Jackson at dummy half. Richard Horn. Jason Smith. Back it goes to Prescott. That wasn't the best pass, though, and he's coughed the possession up again. Barry Ward dropped on it gleefully. Here's Stankovic. Prescott has hold of the jersey, gets him down.
Not the best passage you mentioned from Smith, but I get the impression that Steve Prescott is more than just a little bit rusty.
5 handling errors already by Hull, and Shields in possession for the Saints. Mickey Hyam from dummy half. Off he goes on a scampering little run. Offloaded the pass. Wellens. Here is Sculthorpe on the bounce. Oh, Sculthorpe has just strolled in. Well, there are alarm bells ringing around the boulevard for this Hull defence. And Sculthorpe, it was a real stroll in for him. 8 tries in his last 9, and 8 of those 9 had standoff where he's operating tonight.
Well, full credit to the man that I was talking about, Mickey Hyam. They allowed him to run from dummy half, get the ability to offload. This is a bad pass, but you can see there that Steve Prescott not in the best position. 50-50 either way. Look at this, how this fella is allowed to run. Can't afford to do that, and the ability to offload is superb. It was a simple dummy from one of the best in the world, this fella Sculthorpe. And I would love to be a fly on the wall when Mr. McRae gets hold of his charges at half-time.
Well, he enjoys playing here by the looks of things, Paul Sculthorpe, and Sean McRae, a little shake of the head there. And we were saying Paul King giving David Waite a nudge with his try. He won't want to look at that attempted tackle on Paul Sculthorpe again. So Sculthorpe, having scored the try, now aims to convert it. 18 points last week against the Bulls. 2 tries and 5 goals. Another 2 points to the Saints total and to the Sculthorpe tally as well. It's Hull 6, St Helens 20 here at the Boulevard. And Paul Wellens has got problems with a knee. That's bandaged up. By the way, we've just seen Paul Sculthorpe's 90th career try.
And they won't come as soft any more than that one. It's when they played the ball, there was 2 markers went the same way. There was a defensive, I think it was the big prop Craig Greenhill, that he had his back to the attack, and Mickey Hyam just ripped him apart with a 15-metre run and laid the platform for Sculthorpe's try. Woeful is a word for Hull's defence at the moment.
Barry Ward tackled by Sean Ryan and Jason Smith. 10 minutes to half-time. As you say, Sean McRae will want to get at his team in black and white. This is Adam Marr. That's better. That's better defence from Chester and Jackson and Marr. He was on all fours almost as he played that, Anthony Stewart. Hyam gives it to Sculthorpe. Good tackle by Ryan. Hyam now will scamper up the middle, or just lost the footing at the vital stage.
Well, they're running through at will. They're not even getting back. Jackson was very slow to even start. That'll be a play on. Oh, he's got the knock on.
Knock on against Hull in the shape of Scott Logan.
Here's the charge down.
That wasn't a knock on, that was.
Yep. This will be a head and feed to Saints. That's the one, it just bobbled in front. Well, they just can't get the football, Hull.
Here's Newlove on the run around with Sculthorpe, now to Gleeson. Oh, it's through Yeaman again. And he's got Darren Albert in support. Steve Prescott had moved across to cover. A good job he did. Wellens in a dummy half.
Sean McRae has to have a long look at this youngster, Kirk Yeaman. Obviously not ready for the big time at this level.
This is Martin attacking the line, pops the ball back to Sonny Nicol. And Richard Horne and company waiting for him. That's 3 of this set of 6 gone for the Saints. Mickey Hyam to the left and Joint. Joint is spun to the ground 10 metres away. It's Smith and Horne doing all the tackling at the moment for Hull. Here now is Shields. It goes back to Sculthorpe looking busy. Gleeson, oh, he just lost it.
That would have been a try as well.
Yes, because Yeaman was sat on his bottom.
Matt Crowther had come in from the whitewash as well. And it's a big ask for this youngster, Kirk Yeaman. When you play against one of the finest in the world, it's not easy for a youngster to break through. It can be ever so cruel. And as this man here is just perhaps thinking, I'm going to be all right. I hope I'm going to be okay. So do I. So does all Britain. We need him on that plane tomorrow.
Indeed so. We do. Here is Yeaman now for Hull. He had a fine debut here, by the way, against Halifax 2 weeks ago. Got 2 tries. And he's been setting them on fire in the academy throughout the course of this season, young Kirk Yeaman. Only 19 years of age. And Sean McRae predicting big things for him in the future. This is Mackay.
Yeah, it's going to be a big call by Sean McRae.
Horne down the short side. Horne, he's missed Jim Joint. Rayner's there in support. Rayner's quick. Oh, he's too quick for Shields. And that's a great try from Hull, just what the doctor ordered. Gareth Rayner with his 8th try of the season. A try against Castleton last week, a try against St Helens in the 14-33 defeat in March. And he's come up with the goods here for Sean McRae at just the right time, but it's Richard Horne who takes much credit.
Beautiful play this time. It was Saints who were caught on the blind side. Rayner, as Eddie has mentioned, got plenty of speed. There he goes, as Eddie mentioned, Dr. Norden. Don't know him, I know Dr. Smith, but Rayner went through. They're back, and boy oh boy, that'll be a relief. Whole side, because they were being taken apart, taken to the cleaners by Saints. But that was one suit that wasn't going to be stopped. Gareth Rayner.
24 years of age. He will join Leicester Tigers next year. So Matt Crowther with the conversion attempt. Well, you know, Hull don't particularly like being in front of our cameras. We featured them 9 times last year. They won only once. Matt Crowther, though, has added the extras to that try. It's 20 points to 12. Their only televised win last year was against St Helens here last June.
There you can see 2 would-be defenders. They've got their backs to the opposition. Young Horne takes full advantage of it. Joint tried desperately and then back on the inside. He knows the way to the line. It's a shame he's going to another sport.
It is. And they'll miss him here. But Sean McRae, I know, will be working hard to replace him. Well, the Saints ahead then, 20 points to 12. And Hull won't want reminding, but the Saints recorded their biggest win of the summer era against Hull in July 1999, 74-16 at Knowsday Road. Good drive forward now by Scott Logan. He was interfered with as he played the ball there.
Shields picked up a knock on the leg.
22-10, Wigan over Halifax, just into the second half.
It's getting very scrappy in the play the ball area. Joint all over the top.
Here's Jason Smith. He's gone for the big hoof downfield.
Rayner's using the speed. Wellens should have it covered.
He's after him. And Rayner was certainly impeded
yeah.
by Anthony Stewart.
Brushed away by the official.
He ran right across him. And Rayner, I was going to say he got the revenge there, but it was actually one of his hard-working forwards, Sean Ryan.
Well, that try by Rayner has just lifted their spirits. They needed something, and they really have stepped up, not just one gear, but quite a few.
Oh, loose pass. Darren Albert has to go back and pick up. Chester in first, helped out by Adam Marr. Last tackle here, and Sculthorpe has to kick to get out of trouble. Just skips away from Prescott. Prescott taking his time. The chase has arrived. Prescott trying to spin away from them. They've got 3.5 minutes to the half-time siren, these two sides. Here's Gareth Rayner, who's breathed life with that try into the Hull challenge. Jackson at dummy half. Logan to drive it in. Straight at Peter Shields. It's Peter Shields. And gets the ball away brilliantly to Jackson. Jackson is trapped by Stankovic.
Much better. Taking a leaf out of the book from St. Helens, spinning in the tackle and trying to get the ball released.
Richard Horn. Wide it goes to Mackay. Good tackle by Paul Newlove.
We knew it was going to be a battle royal, battle of the big guys.
Here's Paul King. Standing his ground. Eventually taking the tackle. Last one for Hull. Jackson to Jason Smith. He'll hoist the kick here. Prescott's after it. Wellens is underneath this. Oh, Wellens was safe as houses. There's no contest, really.
He's enjoying his favourite position. A lot of people raised their eyebrows when they put him in that position a couple of years ago, but what a find. What a talent.
Joint was almost away. Jackson got him round the ankles, and Jason Smith finished the job. Here is Sonny Nicol. Hyan, the dummy half. Shields gets the ball away to Sculthorpe. On it goes to Hyan. Important tackle from Horn. This young man has tackled himself to a standstill in this first half.
Well, he's had to, Eddie, because down the middle of the park, St. Helens are just running their own race.
Last tackle for Saints here.
You've got to wonder how much he's going to take out of the tank.
High kick this from Martin. And Crowther went for it. It's bouncing all over the shop. And Prescott, in the end, was first to drop on it in a black and white jersey. Well, Hull will be relieved that at the moment they're only 8 points adrift. It could be so much more damaging for Hull's ambition.
Well, I think they'll be very thankful. They haven't had this ball for long periods of this first half.
Good ball then from King. And he was thinking about a possible offload there, was Scott Logan. Jason Smith goes right and finds Ryan.
Well, normally we see Jason Smith operating with the kicks into the corner for the wingers. But the mere fact that Hull haven't been in that position for more than a couple of times in this first half.
Oh, that's out on the full from Richard Horn. And they're saying it was touched by the St. Helens player.
Well, the ball played the man, I feel. I don't think Tommy Martin...
Tommy Martin went to charge this down.
Yeah, but he missed it.
Get back, go, come on. Adam, come on, one.
Well, the ball didn't play the man then, did it?
Wasn't there a man downfield?
Two. Keep going.
Did it go to an alien?
Yeah. I think I've worked with one at times. 10 seconds now before the half-time siren. Saints looking to post a try right on the bell. Newlove offloads to Hyan. Hyan tackled by Logan and also Paul King. We make it time up. But it's with Tommy Martin, who'll dab the ball into open space. And Prescott will run the ball dead. There's the half-time siren at last. And Hull will be thankful that they are only 8 points adrift of the Saints. And Sean McRae and Tony Anderson quickly out of the eyrie here, getting into the dressing room to have very stern words, I think, with the Hull players and their defence. Sculthorpe again, the star of the show though for the Saints. Let's hope he is for Great Britain next Friday. Hull 12, St Helens 20 here at the Boulevard at the half-time siren. Saints have been able to run at this defence at will at times, and McRae will now be trying to shore it up.
Get a Formula One season ticket for the special price of just £50.
And you get the next 8 Grand Prix weekends.
All live, uninterrupted and interactive.
Choose how you want to watch. Follow the leader. A battle down the field. Come to the pits. Or travel on board.
All at the touch of a button.
And for just £50.
To order your season ticket now, call 08702 418 111 or go to channel 434.
With its intelligent protection system, the Ford Mondeo is one of the safest places to be.
When something great happens, you want everyone to see it. That's why there's now a network that lets you be the first to take, send and receive images, mobile to mobile. Life's better with pictures. Get more. T-Mobile.
Come on, Oliver. Come on, you can do it. Come on, now, concentrate. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on, Oliver. Go on. Go on. Go on. Yes. Yes. We won.
We can't see it.
You think?
One soldier, one survivor. Together, they must fight a new evil. Resident Evil.
With Saddle and Clean and Protect, you can now color 6 fence panels in less than 10 minutes. Saddle and Clean and Protect.
The itching and burning of athlete's foot can really drive you up the wall. Now, there's a new solution. Once daily Lamisil 80 spray. In just 7 sprays, its special active ingredient starts to relieve the symptoms, treat the cause of athlete's foot, providing protection for weeks and weeks. Lamisil 80 1% spray, a modern solution to athlete's foot, also available in a cream.
T68i with full colour display. Put some colour into your life.
In 1815, Britain defeated Napoleon. But what if we hadn't? Would life be so different? Well, for starters, we'd eat better. We'd look better. We'd do lots of things better. You see, we'd be able to speak French so we could make anything sound sexy.
Bonjour, auriez-vous une crème? Je vous ai m'envoyé.
But we'd still enjoy a good old beer with our traditional British pastimes. Haute qualité beer, of course. Kronenberg 1664. Vive la vie française.
Don't miss the Homebase £50 million sale. You'll now find up to half price off our huge range of barbecues. But don't miss it. Sale ideas, Homebase.
Live Championship darts coming up for you Friday night. Catch all the action from the Las Vegas Desert Classic It's live from the MGM Grand at 8 o'clock on Sky Sports 1. Hull 12, St Helens 20, the half-time score at the Boulevard. Tries from Gleeson, Stankovic, Sculthorpe, who's also kicked 4 goals. King and Rayner for Hull, and Crowther with 2 goals. 8 points the difference, and Sean McRae will be peeling the paint off the walls, I think. He is not too happy with his defence, but he will be happy the fact that this lot are only 8 points ahead. The game could have been won by half-time for the men from St Helens. So Ian Millward about to deliver his half-time team talk, but at this level of Super League, an 8-point gap at half-time is no gap at all. The match isn't won. It all has to be done again in the second half, and Sean McRae, Steve-O, will be delighted that he's got to his charges without more damage done.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, they could have been just completely ripped apart like they were for great periods on that first half. Now, a few cynics suggested perhaps that with St Helens having 5 internationals on that plane down under, that perhaps they'd have their mind elsewhere. Well, in the opening 20 minutes, it looked as though Hull had all their players going down under on a plane because they really were not at home. They were not in the game at all. This is the incident where King deliberately pulls off the ball away from Britt. Good decision there by Russell Smith, and from it, the ball went skipping out wide, and Gleeson, who's creating a nightmare for young Yeoman. It's a big ask for a youngster to come in at this level. And then the fend off, King on joint, they went far too high, and good effort there by the prop forward. He enjoyed that, but look at this. Again, not the best pass, but Wellens got it away, and young Yeoman just slipped. Stankovic, let's not give him too much negative stuff about that, but it was a good step from Stankovic. And the offload yet again. Now, Mickey Hyam came on for Cunningham, and he certainly found plenty of gaps down the middle from dummy half, and so did this fella Sculthorpe. And thankfully, for once, it was St Helens that had their backs to the attacking side. To say, good work though by Horn, good fend as well on joint. Kept his cool, back on the inside. As soon as he got it, shut the gate. I'm on the dog number 6, well, number 2 as it turns out. And boy, oh boy, didn't Hull need that, because I feel that if they hadn't have scored just before that half-time break, and I think St Helens would have enjoyed having the next stanza, because they were playing some good football. And as I say, Hull, they've got a lot of work to do.
The great thing about this game is that the matches are played in 2 halves, and Sean McRae can now have his say at the Hull defence. And Phil Clark is watching on the sideline and keeping a close eye as Great Britain manager on all the Great Britain potential stars for next Friday. But Phil, this match isn't over yet, not by a long chalk.
No, it isn't. I don't think we should be too critical of the Hull side. It says extra cold in the middle of the pitch, but St Helens were red hot in attack in the first half. They really were simply well, and I thought Paul Sculthorpe head and shoulders above every other player on the field. But Hull, they've been denied any field position really with which to attack the St Helens line. We've just seen a couple of dangerous kicks from Jason Smith, and maybe that's one of the areas, if they can get some field position, they can put some pressure on the St Helens side. But I feel a little bit like the wives and players, not really too bothered about the scoreline, just concerned that any of the players out don't get too injured.
It's a bet. Well, I wonder if one of those Great Britain would-be stars will take home the watch tonight, because the TISO watch, as usual, goes to the man of the match, and Steve-O and Phil will be making the choice as this second half progresses. And it's going to be a very interesting second half, because, well, Hull aren't out of it. Only 8 points rather. And anything can happen in a game like this. Topsy-turvy stuff at the top of Super League. Hull 12, Saints 20, second half to come.
With its intelligent protection system, the Ford Mondeo is one of the safest places to be.
It could have happened to any phone. But fortunately, this little chap's memory will live on, because he's had all his numbers stored at the Carphone warehouse. So his owner not only can get the very latest model, but also have all their numbers transferred onto it immediately. And his little life has not been in vain.
Closing time.
Bacardi Breezer, now available in grapefruit.
Since time began, man has drunk Volvic mineral water from volcanoes to give him volcanicity. Volvic fills you with volcanicity.
Once again, you can match the symbols on the new Monopoly scratch card from the National Lottery to win real money. There's over £17 million of new prizes to be won.
At B&Q, we're making room for our new kitchens. That means incredible clearance savings. There's at least a third off selected kitchens. All these Rockford units are just over £1,300. Our experts can come round to your home and help you plan it for free. We can fit it for you too if you want. And if you choose the Brockenhurst kitchen, you can now get the units at half price. All these units for under £700. Kitchen clearance at B&Q. Don't miss out. You can do it when you B&Q it.
That's not how you make a horror movie.
That was just awful.
This is how you make a horror movie.
Paranoia,
Somebody's after me.
fear of imprisonment, wrong man accused.
Did you guys do this?
No, but I like it. How the lines blur between fantasy and reality.
Urban Legends Final Cut, tonight at 10 on Sky Movies Max.
Then cut.
Well, we have this earlier than normal start to your Super League weekend, but worry not, Saturday it's all as usual. Saturday 10:30 in the morning, Sky Sports 3. The leaders of the NRL, the Bulldogs against the Northern Eagles, and Saturday night, Sky Sports 2, London Broncos against Castleford, and top six very much on the agenda there. And we've got this early start because the British boys are on their way to Australia first thing in the morning, and Friday, July the 12th is D-Day. It's Great Britain in Australia to take on those Aussies. It's a 10 o'clock start in the morning. It's live only on Sky Sports 1. We have two primetime replays for you later in the day. 5 o'clock Sky Sports 1 and 9 o'clock Sky Sport 3. So there is no excuse. You'll be able to see, hopefully, Great Britain's victory in Australia. First time in Sydney that Britain will have beaten the Aussies since 1988. Kieran Cunningham taking his place on the bench, and he will travel to Australia with a shiner. A poke in the eye from Jason Smith, of all people, in the first half. But he looks okay. I wish he'd give us the thumbs up. But hopefully, Kieran Cunningham will be all right for that trip in the morning.
Well, he's got 7 days to sort it out. It isn't as though it's a leg problem or a bad injury.
The hand again.
Yeah.
Well, the Super League here at the Boulevard. It's nicely poised on paper, but St Helens, they should have been home and hosed, really. Although it must be said they're not playing to the top of their form, as we saw against Bradford last Friday. But they have punctured this Hull defence with ease in the first 40. But to be fair to Hull, they've hardly had the football. I think the ratio is something like 64-36% in terms of Saints with ball in hand. Well, so if Hull can get hold of the ball, as they've shown with the 2 tries, they can do something.
Yeah, they certainly can, but they've got to make sure they're down there and get the pressure and maybe get a couple of sets of 6 consecutively, if they can do that. But their biggest problem was in and around the play the ball area. First we saw Cunningham before he left the field, and then we saw Mickey Hyam just having the time of his life running from dummy half.
That was hard luck there. Paul King trying to offload, and it was gobbled up by Peter Shields. So St Helens with the ball. Oh, and Newlove is round Yeeman. And is that a change of sides for Mackay and Yeeman? I think it is. Barry Ward bounces off Paul King, can't get away from the next 2 in. Jason Smith and Scott Logan. Wigan 28-10 up against Halifax after an hour. Sculthorpe, good ball to Gleeson. He's through Mackay. Takes the tackle though. And Stankovic waited dummy half. Sculthorpe, great scream of forward on the far side, and it was.
Well, Sculthorpe went over, but they had stopped. It was a dodgy thing to do. We saw on the first try in that first half when they stopped, believing that Britt had lost the football, and they all stood around waiting, hoping that the man with the whistle. They thought it was forward. You see the referee having a look, but they'd virtually accepted the fact that the official is going to blow up. Nearly.
Very nearly, and then the whistle, and it was a forward pass. Well, Bill Arthur's got the half-time news downstairs.
Eddie, we had Beckham's foot earlier in the summer. Well, now it's Cunningham's eye by the look of things. Oh, excuse the pun. But Kieran Cunningham has got a really puffy left eye now after that incident in the first half with Jason Smith. Ian Millwood deciding not to put him back on. Well, probably he can only see out of one eye at the moment. And according to the Saints medical team, he has got a scratch on the lens, and there is a bit of bleeding there as well. And they're not that happy about the situation at the moment. Coach Ian Millwood is happy with his side's performance. Apart from a couple of soft tries they conceded, they're looking to tighten up in that respect. There is Kieran Cunningham. Sean McRae, I think, really read the riot act to his side at half-time. They really want more commitment. He wants more commitment from his side. Take the game to this Saints side, but Saints are taking it to Hull now.
They have with Darren Albert. And Albert, who claimed the high ball, or Prescott managed to stand in his way, and then Chester came in for the kill. But Darren Albert, one of the quickest in the Super League.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't go for the corner. Prescott was just ambling across. Didn't want to commit himself too early, but I'm sure that Albert would have had the speed. This guy has ghosted him.
That's too easy. And the Hull defensive problems continue. Darren Albert just had the easiest job in the world on the far side of plucking the ball out of the air. He was stopped by Steve Prescott, but it only delayed the inevitable, and Newlove in. Last try against Widnes in a 56-6 hiding.
There's a big kick from Jason Smith. They were all running through, and he took it superbly on the break. Now look for Prescott. Now he didn't want to commit himself too early. Albert went in, but I thought this guy is reputed to be the fastest in rugby league. And when this swung the ball out wide, Tommy Martin, they used Chris Joynt absolutely superbly. Used him as the foil, and it was an easy run for Paul Newlove. Always enjoyed scoring the try, but watch how they utilise the big second rower, the captain Chris Joynt. That is an easy try. They paid the price of not hanging back someone in the sweeper area for the kick. And there he is, happy to score yet another try in his long career, Paul Newlove.
Indeed, terrific strike rate. And interestingly enough, he got a try here in the match last year, but he didn't play again after that. Suffered a bad injury, and that was the end of his season. He'll be hoping that lightning doesn't strike twice. Sculthorpe then with this opportunity from just to the left of the posts. 15 caps for Paul Sculthorpe. Certain fitness provided to make it 16 next Friday, and right in the middle. So St Helens ahead by 26 points to 12, and business as usual, it would seem, from that Hull defence.
Yeah, and St Helens, to be fair to them though, and full credit to them, they're one of the best exponents of swinging the ball out wide and then utilising the dummy runner, and it nearly always seems to be Chris Joynt. And not surprisingly, the youngster has gone to the sideline.
A big blow to lose a player of the calibre of Toa Koilov. As I said earlier, Sean McRae does have high hopes of young Kirk Yeeman.
Oh, I learned by this, Eddie, there's no doubt about it.
Well, he had a bit of an easier baptism against Halifax when he got those 2 tries on. Sculthorpe's away, he's ducked underneath one challenge. There's a flood of support on his outside. Wellens, it goes wide to Gleeson, back on the inside to Wellens. Well, maybe Gleeson should have backed himself and gone for the corner.
Either way, champagne football there. Looks like Jason Smith's picked up a knock as well. They're in all sorts of trouble out here.
This is Nicol.
There's a wrong option.
They drop off him again, and this is Shields. Mars missed him, Logan's missed him. Eventually he's hauled to ground by Chris Chester. Barry Ward at dummy half. Sculthorpe, who started this, Gleeson. This is Albert, he's lost it. And they'll play the first knock on.
Yeah. Well, very fortunate there, because Albert, if it had taken that, perhaps would have gone right the way through. Crowther. Full credit though, Crowther was in a good position, went low. And Jason Smith coming over the top of this fella. But scintillating rugby league football from St Helens. We've said it so many times this year, Eddie, but they give value for money, don't they?
They do, every time we see them. Well, that scrum broke up way before the ball was clear.
Russell Smith said that he didn't interfere, so play on. Tommy said, oops. But I mean, with Tommy Martin saying, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be there, that meant that Hull couldn't use the blind side.
Yes, so he did interfere.
Well,
he interfered there, did Newlop and Joynt.
No doubt about it. Joynt went to the second effort. Well, they needed a try desperately. They have not got into the swing of things, even though they scored 12 points in that first half.
And here now is Chester, who gives the ball to Horn.
Very much one-out football, though, from Hull. They're not running off the ball like we've seen from Saints. They're not utilising the shepherd.
Good ball from Cook to Mackay, bounces off Ward. Shields, and Ward comes back.
Straight into his face then, Ward. Well, what on earth is the touch judge doing on this side?
And that was high on King. The referee says off the shoulder.
Getting away with murder.
Smith wide to Chester. A little dummy, it's out wide to Crowther. Good defence.
Should he have gone for the corner? That's a big question. As soon as he got the ball, he took the step.
Here's Jason Smith on the bounce. Lee Jackson, Steve Prescott, they missed him. Sean Ryan, Graham Mackay, he's in.
If at first you don't succeed, Eddie, then try again. At least they kept the ball alive. Took it from the left-hand side. I suggested maybe Crowther had taken the wrong option, but full credit to them. Smith took that ball superbly. There they utilised the dummy runner. That's the first time that Hull have used it in this game, and it was sufficient to create the overlap. And Mackay, the big fella, it's been a while since he scored a try, and he'll be happy to get that one. That is a big relief to the Hull side.
Well, they keep pegging back, don't they? Not playing well, but they will not go away, Hull. And Graham Mackay's try has cut the lead. Now can Matt Crowther reduce it again still further? Back for the last two, this fellow. He missed Leeds and Wigan. 5th he is on the Super League goal-kicking chart. Full back against Castleford not long ago, 3 goals. And the opportunity here to kick his third tonight to convert Graham Mackay's try. But it's a difficult kick, as you can see. Acute angle, close to the touchline. But a study in concentration, an important kick this. Giving it a good thump and a great chance, and gets 2 points. That's a super kick from Matt Crowther. 18 points to 26, the Saints.
Vital 2 points. Mackay finally got over, but look at Crowther. He had all the room outside. I really thought that he bombed it by coming back on the inside. I thought they were just a little bit short. As soon as he got that ball on the step, Mickey Hyam was beaten, but Albert was there, and so was Wellens. But I thought there was enough space for him to get into the corner. Didn't matter in the end. The big fella Mackay puts the Boulevard men back in this game.
Yes, they're still in the hunt, aren't they? 10 minutes, second half gone. St Helens to restart. This is the thing, Hull get hold of the ball and they can do something with it. People like this, Graham Mackay.
Well, I think we're going to have a pointathon. There's going to be plenty of points scored, I can assure you.
Paul Sculthorpe having a bit of a job getting this ball to balance on the kicking tee on the halfway line.
I thought there was talk at the start of this season that they were going to ban it, bring back the ever-faithful sand.
There was also talk that we'd go to 4 substitutes and 12 changes, including blood bins, but that didn't happen either. Maybe it will one of these days. Logan to his feet, plays the ball. Prescott, here comes Adam Marr.
Well, on every occasion that Hull have scored a try,
penalty.
Just saying that every occasion that Hull have scored a try, they play very well for the next 5 or 6 minutes, but they never seem to be able to get that momentum. They've been broken down, too many mistakes at vital times, and that could be a costly one from the big forward Ward.
Well, the Saints don't have a trophy in the cabinet just now. That's a good ball in the end from Prescott, and it was a bit high, as it turned out, from Joint on Paul Cook.
I think it was Newlove, actually. Whether it's a bit high or exceptionally high.
Beg pardon, Newlove it was. My apologies to Mr. Joint.
Right over the top. The best effort from Paul Newlove.
Well, now the Brittany stand rise a bit, because this is dangerous. Hull are 10 metres away from the line with Cook. It goes on to Jason Smith. Back it goes to Logan. 3 there waiting for him. And Peter Shields finishes the job off. Steve Prescott is in at dummy half. They go left with Jason Smith. And he comes back this way with Chris Chester. Stankovic and Nicol with the defence. Lee Jackson, Jason Smith again. The key to victory for Hull may be. Cook didn't release the ball, got the tackle from Joint. Here's Mackay. Strength and power from Mackay.
Good tackle by Joint. That's 2 on the trot. Saved the day.
Cook. It's St Helens' turn to defend.
Gee, they scramble well to the Saints.
Jackson.
Great team effort.
Smith, a dab to the in-goal area. Wellens is there. He grounds it in his own in-goal area before sliding over the line. Drop out from underneath the posts.
Well, this is what Hull needed. Consecutive sets of 6 to apply the pressure. It was a good kick from the hooker, Lee Jackson. Just the right way. Wellens had it always covered, but he realised that the oncomer was certainly going to put him out. Did the right thing. Well, Jason Smith he's worked hard to try to squeeze open the gap with that inside pass, but up to now, Saints have been aware of it and have shut him down.
They have, and Jason Smith believes there is silverware to be won here at the Boulevard in the last 2 years, or the next 2 years of his contract. King with a strong run up the middle.
That's better. That's how the forwards should be running.
And they've lifted the crowd with this second half display. Prescott scragged to the ground by Nicol. Oh, the ball's come free. Knock on.
And he's not having the best night. And Sean McRae will be displeased yet again. Oh, I'm not so sure. It was a pretty high tackle, I feel, by Nicol. Well, there's quite a few of the high tackles from both sides. Have been waved away by Russell Smith. Very close to the chin mark.
Had it and then lost it, Steve Prescott. It is his responsibility to secure the ball. But it was a pretty high challenge, wasn't it? Round the neck, certainly. This is Gleeson now for St Helens.
Sometimes it's difficult, Eddie, when the marbles are spinning around in your bonds to think of anything else, but just keeping yourself fit and alive.
True. Sculthorpe, big kick downfield, looking for the 40-20. Crowther did well, funneled back. Bradford 36-6 up against Widnes. Wigan 28-10 against Halifax. That's the final score. So Wigan have won. And Bradford well ahead against Widnes. So incentive for London and Castleford on Saturday night. Our match that will be live. And real incentive for London now to leapfrog Widnes into the top 6 and Castleford to get into the playoff situation.
Well, there's another high one.
Adam Marr felt it.
That the official said was okay.
Sky Sports 2, by the way, for London Castleford. Saturday at 6.
Getting very tasty out there, Eddie.
It is.
A few of them will start losing their cool, I feel.
Mackay taking on new look, dumps the ball over the top, and Tommy Martin flicking it hither and thither, and it's picked up by Wellens, who will turn defence into attack.
Great positional play, you know. Paul Wellens read that superbly. It was a nice work by Sculthorpe, but he knew he had to go back and help Sculthorpe there, did Wellens.
Anthony Stewart.
And this has been a problem for Hull. Their defence, that's better. That's the way to do it. Paul King not allowing the dummy half to make progress forward.
Britt to Sculthorpe, and Sculthorpe tackled by Chester. Here goes Britt again. Now it's with Mickey Hyam. Mike Bennett, first touch for him, and a quick play the ball. Hyam back to Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe wide to Gleeson. Ball flicks out. Play on is the signal from the touch judge far side. Richard Horn has it for Hull.
I don't know whether Gleeson was trying to offload there, but Horn, as you say, came up with the football. Well, it was knocked out. It really should have been a knock on.
All offside because Gleeson was in front of Lee Jackson. Horn was in front of Lee Jackson, so was Gleeson, but he had the ball knocked out of him. Well, the turn round in possession, and here's Jackson taking on Wellens on the knees and gets it away to Cook, who's jumped over joint. No support. Mackay was just a bit too wide. Martin with an important tackle. Here is Jason Smith. Jason Smith to Prescott. Come here, says Sculthorpe, and forces him back a couple of metres.
Wonderful tackle, try saver by Tommy Martin.
Jason Smith pops it up for King, went without it. Wellens has it, skips away from the one tackle, skips away from the second tackle.
Well, this must be really frustrating for Sean McRae, the Hull coach. St Helens coach Ian Mill would be quite happy with the fact that they've got away from being on the rack. Hull, golden opportunity on 2 occasions. Coming up with those mistakes.
High tackle.
Well, at the risk of being biased, we've seen so many that have been left. Certainly was a big impact, but not more so than what we've seen throughout this game. Logan not impressed.
Here comes Saints then with Darren Britt. Tackle low by Ryan, upstairs by Logan. Wellens from dummy half, collared.
Again, we see very slow markers, 1 and 2. Mickey Hyam, he'll just run them ragged.
Martin drops the shoulder, gives it to Joint. The defence is gone again. Chris Joint with the latest St Helens try. John Sharp alongside Ian Millwood, by the way, a former Hull favourite. And Paul King, another man on the bench with those stitches on the end of the nose, and it looks like they've burst open once more.
But again, the biggest problem for this whole defensive side is in and around the play the ball area. It was a neat break that put it this way, and then Hyam was allowed to offload. Nice pass though from Tommy Martin. Just sucks in the defence. May look simple, but it's all class. Again, hanging back. If you allow the opposition to run on the angle, it creates the extra man, as Tommy Martin did for this fella. Fine exponents to this side from St Helens. Some magical rugby league football we've seen from them tonight.
There has been no doubt about that. It's come in fits and starts for Saints. But boy, when they move it around, they're a delight to watch. And Sculthorpe to add the extras again. Which he does with ease. 32-18 now. 32 points away from home, should be good enough to win a match.
Well, look at Earl. Jackson got his back to the opposition, and look how much space they get. Quick play the ball, very slow at the play the ball area, and from here, Hyam runs the angle, and it's all over, Rover. Well, this whole defence, I don't know whether they're Arthur or Martha here.
Joint takes a breather after the try. Martin's underneath the kickoff. Now it's with Anthony Stewart. Hyam again, making good ground from dummy half. Halted by Mars tackle and Greenhill.
Release, wait!
Well, they're going to have to dig deep now, this whole side. Because if they get a sniff of it, St. Helens, they'll take the gamble now. A little bit cautious when Hull scored the try from Mackay that got them back in the game. They were playing it pretty tidy until they got the opportunity.
Mike Bennett plays the ball. He's featured in every match since the Challenge Cup final. Paul Sculthorpe, world class, and we hope he will be next Friday morning.
He's had a wow of a game, hasn't he? Control things out there.
High kick from Tommy Martin, almost has snow on it. Flick back, flick forward then, and flick back again. It's still the last tackle, and that's lost by Sculthorpe.
Well, again, Steve Prescott, all at sea. He's just not really back into the swing of things, I feel.
Jason Smith punches a hole up the middle. There was no one in support.
And he's the guy that you've got to make sure that you support.
Hull now, it's their turn to move the ball around. Bill has some more injury news. This time it centres on Martin Gleeson.
Tell you what, Eddie, the Great Britain team manager sitting alongside me winces every time one of his players goes anywhere near a tackle or emerges from a tackle looking groggy or clutching a bit of his body. Martin Gleeson did just that, holding the side of his head. Thankfully, Gleeson looked towards the touchline into the Saints physio Claire Mannion and said, "I'm okay," and Phil Clark breathed a big sigh of relief.
First class, Bill, thanks very much. Let's go down now to Phil Clark, and the Saints really doing the business, Phil.
Yeah, there are times in a game when you dominate and a time when your opponents do that, and the best teams seem to be able to handle both. There was 10 minutes of dominance, weren't there, from the Hull side, really, with possession and field position, but Saints withstood it and just came back with some class to score. The game's had a very similar feel to the one between St. Helens and Bradford last week, where Bradford just kept in the game, and Hull have been able to do that. With another try very soon, they could get back into it, but Saints just seem to be able to up the intensity when they need to, just to press ahead and get that significant lead.
Yes, they do, and they hold a significant lead right now. 14 points it is.
Well, they're a quality outfit. They know exactly what has to be done, and they come up generally with less errors.
Martin with the big kick downfield, and Prescott has come back here to field it, and he actually leaves it to Gareth Rayner. Now there's a bit of space for Rayner maybe to exploit. Can he use that pace?
Pretty good chase, and the one advantage that Saints have is that they were moving up as one unit. One thing that Ian Millwood has got his side doing is that it's not a matter of just one or two going downfield, they all race down.
Carvel, one of the players operating tonight in the Super League, who's had to bring a couple of suitcases with him just in case he gets the call from David Waite. Richard Horn is another.
Good work from Gleeson. Shadowed him all the way.
Crowther infield to Chester. Here's Jason Smith. Jason Smith back to Chester. Now Adam Marr, little drop of the shoulder, taking on Barry Ward.
Quick play the ball, that's what's needed.
Last tackle for Hull. Jackson. Smith, will he hoist the kick wide looking for Mackay? He will. It's actually caught brilliantly by Anthony Stewart.
Ryan's taken a knock. Ryan just went for that football, missed it completely, and I think he bounced on the deck. Well done, Mr. Smith, for stopping it there. You could see that his shoulder certainly made contact with Ryan. Now they can apply this pressure and keep St. Helens well within their quarter.
Big win for Bradford over Widnes. 44-6 London do have the opportunity now to reclaim a place in the top 6 on Saturday night. Britt, oh, he offloaded straight into the arms of Lee Jackson.
Oh, then could that be a big mistake?
Wonder if there's a call from Lee Jackson.
Well, even so, at 32-18, you don't offload in your own quarter, Eddie.
Offside, Saints.
Quick tap, that's all they need. They want to get on with it.
If they can.
Well, they should do, especially with the St. Helens man behind the line. Sculthorpe it is.
Jason Smith just waits and just...
Well, I tell you what, that's very sporting of Jason Smith to allow Sculthorpe to get into the one-line of defence. I think it'd be better served to have tapped it quick, unless, of course, the referee said, hang on until I blow the whistle, though I never heard it.
Jackson, here's Ryan. Fully recovered from the clattering he took a few moments ago.
Now, if Jason Smith is Gleeson, yeah,
walking wounded.
Well, it's only a bit of blood.
Cavell! He scores! Oh, we'll have a look. What's he looking for? Jerry Kershaw, the video referee.
Possible call for obstruction.
Obstruction is the call from the St. Helens defence.
We'll soon see.
Well, the Saints markers weren't standing square.
No, he never moved. Never moved at all. Mike Bennett was the man that was supposedly impeded, but I don't think there was any push on it. No, he just stood there. This will be tried. They did well there. Watch how they use Jason Smith as a dummy. That's good work. You see how the defence floated across. Such a dangerous ploy, isn't it, when Smith runs anywhere, with or without the football. He creates all sorts of panic in the defence. This will be a try, no doubt about it in my mind.
Jerry Kershaw is the man. He agrees with you. Yet another lifeline comes on board for Hull FC.
It's an amazing game. They never give in, Hull, but that was a beautifully run by Carvel, timed it right. Jackson, Smith throwing on the blind. See straight away that Sean Hoppy, he was kidded.
And Wellens was the man leading the appeal for the obstruction.
Well, I have to say that I mentioned it could be a pointathon. I think they're going to get one. There's plenty more tries to come in this one.
3 from 3. Crowther, he kicked one off the touchline before. 4 from 4 for Crowther. The gap's 8 points again. 24-32. Now Hull's involvement in last year's playoffs ended here against St. Helens. 24-20. Jason Smith was injured that night. He also lost 33-14, by the way, at Knowsley Road in March. But Gareth Carvel has come up with the try. And, well, although St. Helens have outplayed them, maybe, Hull will not go away. They've scored 4 tries of their own. Saints have scored 5.
Well, Sean McRae will probably look at the video after this and say, if we'd have shored our defence up, eliminate all the errors, we should have won quite convincingly. It doesn't work that way. You've got to make sure your defence is solid.
The defence wins games. Chris Joint comes back on. There he is.
Tries may be pretty, Eddie, but losing pay ain't.
Well, their defensive effort at Castleford last week was outstanding for Hull as they collected their first win there in 11 years. But 27 missed tackles tonight. 14 missed tackles by Saints, but Hull have had to certainly make a few more. And Jason Smith's gone for a 40-20 here. Oh, well done,
great.
Anthony Stewart.
How cool was that?
But they'll hunt the mistake now from Stewart.
Beautiful effort from Smith. That really was superb. Now then, can Hull keep them penned down? They've got into the second quarter so easily of St. Helens. Every time Hull have put the kick in, look at this. They're making their way, steady progress to the halfway line. It's so important when you get the kick away on the last. If you're in a middle of the field position, you turn everything around.
Hyan is the man at dummy half, just inside the Saints half. And Sculthorpe with the kick is too deep, but at least St. Helens will line their defence up on the 30-metre line.
And that gives you the indication, Eddie, of how important it is to...
Look at that. 22 all at Headingley after 75 minutes. 5 minutes of the match remaining. And Warrington... Well.
Well, that's 3 holes in the ground, Eddie, but more importantly, it's the wooden spoon that they're trying to avoid.
Well, they were not good, were they, last week against Wigan, but they've come back into that match. They came back with a good second-half display, to be fair to them, I suppose, for 10 minutes, quarter of an hour.
But the
Scored
question,
16 points, but...
question you've got to ask, Eddie, what's happened to Leeds? I mean, it was only a last gasp effort last week against Wakefield that got them home.
Pass was from Jason Smith there to Chris Chester. Last tackle here for Hull. Jackson. Smith with a dab over the top. There's 3 chasing this. Albert's quick though, and Albert is also brave.
Super stuff there from Albert. Any youngster watching the game, notice how he put his body in front of the ball so that if it did ricochet around, it would go backwards. No chance of the on-rushing traffic to make any problems. Copybook.
Chris Joint now. Good tackle low down by Gareth Carvell. Tommy Martin, dummy half. He'll go for the 40-20. Now then, it just depends how this ball skips on the bounce. No, Rayner's quick enough.
Got plenty of space.
Give it to Richard Horn.
Back, let him up, Saints. Come on, Mike.
Well, they're digging deep now, Saints. There's a few of them just struggling out there.
11 minutes to go here. Chester, Smith, Cook, Ryan. Good tackle. Oh, it came free there. Now, was it knocked on or was it?
Knock on.
Yes, it was knocked on.
Yeah. Good tackle by Tommy Martin on Ryan. It had to be as well. Ryan, fully aware that he tried to get the ball away. A little doubt on the replay. He was trying to flick it away to Mackay. Good defence there by Tommy Martin. Dig deep here now.
Full time at Leeds, and Warrington have got a point, and that could be a priceless point. A priceless point for Warrington in the bid to avoid relegation. They've come up with a Jekyll and Hyde performance within a week again of Warrington. 22 all.
It's been a wonderful season, hasn't it, so far? Everyone thought that it was home and hose for everybody in the top 6, and that so many clubs, they were on the way to relegation. It'll go right to the wire, that's for sure.
It will, both ends of the table. I'm reminded that Warrington drew at Headingley last year as well. Well, that really is a priceless point for them. Who's going to get the priceless 2 points here between Hull and Saints? At the moment, Saints on course for their 8th successive win. Best run in the business. Sculthorpe up the middle. Ryan got to him with Greenhill. Last tackle here for St Helens. Mickey Hyam waits.
Now they will utilise a kick. It looks like Martin.
Oh, Tommy Martin drops it. Well, I was about to make the point, Steve. A lot of people criticise this fella for his defence. He's come in with some very timely tackles tonight.
Certainly has. Well,
but that will be no consolation to him when he looks at this again.
But the big improvement, I feel, is, and this is the ability of his coach Ian Millward to highlight things like that. He was coming out of the one line of defence. He's failed to do that tonight.
Great dummy, and this is Chris Chester. Chester looking for support. It's wide. It's with Crowther. Inside it goes, and on the bounce, here is Richard Horn. The St Helens defence scrambles back. Adam Marr trying to cut through. Terrific defence from Saints. Great counter here from Hull. Penalty.
It's got to be in the bin.
Peter Shields is on his way to the sin bin.
Professional foul. He knew what he was doing as well. He's been around long enough.
And as soon as he stood up, he walked on his way to the dressing room. Now they don't take 2, do they?
No, they've got to go for it. I feel they've got to go for it.
And they take the quick tap. And here is Greenhill.
Remember, it was only last week. Remember, Bradford took the 2 points when they had St Helens on the rack.
Horn tried to scamper away from Hoppy. Good tackle by Mickey Hyam, I think that was. And indeed so, just as he did against Bradford last week. Jackson, short pass. What a great tackle by Joint. Carvell was on his way.
He's thrown one. He could have been penalised, that Carvell.
Jackson stabs the ball to the in-goal, and he carries the ball over his own in-goal line, does Paul Wellens.
Good option yet again. And I think
the referee wants a word with Gareth Carvell.
He threw one. He could have been penalised.
That's why I didn't penalise it. Don't react like this.
But again, we see a lovely little kick there from Lee Jackson. That's the second one he's done in the second half that's applied the pressure so that they'll get the advantage from the dropout. Oh, neat play.
Yes, he did well there, Cook. Trapped it with the outside of the foot. Certainly since he's come on, it's tightened a little for Hull. Now, Saints will play out the remainder of this match, I think, with the one-man down. Horn up the middle!
No support. Jackson just came a little bit late.
Vital tackle from Hyam again. Here's Jackson now.
Good thinking.
They're down now to 11 men because Mickey Hyam is on his haunches out of the picture. Jason Smith will score! That's why they paid the big money to get him here for another 2 years. But to be fair, Ian Millwood's men were 2 men light in defence because Mickey Hyam was injured in the tackle. And Jason Smith has got such an old head on those young shoulders. And over he went for the try.
All the years of experience there. It's Saints' turn to have problems at the play the ball area. He took full advantage of it. Wellens went high. Joint looks tired, as all the players do out there. It's been a topsy-turvy game. Plenty of points. We're in for a thriller.
We're in for a terrific finish because the score now is 30 points to 32 in St Helens' favour. Crowther has kicked the goal. 30-32. Saints down to 12 men. Mickey Hyam is injured and being attended to on the field. But Jason Smith's try, well, he's young to me. He's only 30. A very old head. Plenty of experience. And boy, oh boy, are we in for a corking last 5 or 6 minutes as Hyam goes off the field to be replaced, I think, by Barry Ward.
So it's a pretty bad knock that substitute Hooker took there. And Sculthorpe will be in no rush to kick this. Even though the referee has stopped the clock, he realises that Hull have got the roll on. They've got the momentum. And there's one sure way of stopping that, and that's to just mess around, and don't be surprised if this just falls off that little plastic thing. That's what Sculthorpe will be hoping for. Yeah, I know, but if he...
So Sculthorpe gets us underway here, and dramatic news reaching us from Headingley. That score we gave you wasn't full-time. That is Lee Briers with a drop goal in the very last minute. Apologies to Leeds fans, apologies to Warrington fans, but that's the final score, confirmed now. 23-22. Lee Briers with the drop goal. I think that's about 9 in Super League this year. And he is the one-point specialist, Briers. And boy, we were saying a point was priceless. How important might that be come the end of the year? You would have won your house back, Steve-O, if you'd have bet Warrington to win at Headingley tonight.
Yeah, and roll the tent away, that's for sure. But the shocks just keep coming, don't they? I think we might have one here as well. They're doing the right tactics, Hull.
Salford-Wakefield, by the way, is the match at the Willows on Sunday. And what a battle that will have to be now, because Warrington have put 2 points between them. Stewart underneath the high kick. He's away from 2, can't get away from the next couple. It was Marr and Mackay.
Good take, good position as well.
Penalty.
That'll be a penalty, messing around. Well, not the right time to come up with it. I think he may have just been kidded there by Anthony Stewart, who wriggles and rolls and pushes and loses the ball whilst the man there is still holding on to him. This could be an absolute wonderful relieving kick. He knows it.
2 points the difference. The coaches on the edge of their seats, and I'm sure that you are as well. 4 minutes to go, 2 points the difference. Saints looking to win it with Bennett. Tackled by Jackson.
Well, normally I'd say that any other team would set up for the one-pointer, but not Saints.
Here's Sculthorpe. Ward's on his inside. Sculthorpe just hauled down. Horn again. What a match that kid's had. Wellens. Another tackle from Jackson and Greenhill. Stankovic waits at dummy half. Here's Chris Joint. Joint. Oh, it was not through the hands. And this now is New Love. And New Love is grounded. It went backwards. Last tackle here.
No, I think he's wiped it. He said that a whole hand got to that.
Martin takes the tackle. You're right, it's 6 to go.
Oh, the Boulevard crowd don't like that. It was going all over the shop.
Wellens. He was missed by Greenhill. Here is Sculthorpe. Again for the line, Sculthorpe clattered to the ground. It's a big effort from Hull's defence, but can they hold on for another 3? Carvel on top of Sculthorpe. Ward. Martin. The kick's charged down. It's going to be 6 more. No, the ball played the man, not the other way round. Here is Barry Ward.
Now will Tommy Martin scream for the ball? He's way out the wide.
Ward. He tried to get it away to Joint, took the gamble, and Jackson dropped on it. So here come Hull on the counter with Mackay.
Well, there's still plenty of time. St Helens realising they'll probably have the opportunity. Try to squeeze it out in Ward. They know that they'll probably get one crack at this. Another set of 6 for Saints. They've got to make sure their defence is solid. Hull, of course, they've got to keep this ball alive. Saints down at 12.
Jason Smith. Long pass wide to Graham Mackay. Graham Mackay has slipped the net of Newland. Couldn't get away from Joint. Finished off by Hoppy. 2 minutes to go. Jason Smith. Long ball. He steps inside 1. Gets the pass away to Marr. Great on the inside. Sculthorpe magnificent.
What a game this fella's had, Sculthorpe. He's been so creative. His defence has been superb.
Another kick down the throat of Anthony Stewart. 1.5 minutes remaining. Mackay with the tackle on Stewart.
They probably realise that this will be their only set of 6 in this game. Nothing fancy.
Wellens takes the tackle.
Up the jumper time. Martin surely will do the same. No, he offloads.
Gives it to Joint. Joint will take the tackle. That's 3. Hull just might have one last go. Barry Ward.
Not offloading this time, that's for sure. They've got to eat up the seconds.
Stankovic dummy half. To the halfway line. Grounded. Last 1. Right, they have one more tackle. Martin with a kick downfield and a very intelligent kick, touching goal. The line will set on the 30-metre mark. Ian Millwood knows he's 45 seconds away from victory at the Boulevard.
Well, Tommy Martin wanted that to go over the whitewash. He didn't want it to go dead in goal so that they could set up, but at least they've got one line of defence. Desperation. Greenhill has got to get up and play it quickly. They know the seconds are ticking away. They've got to take the gamble. This could be on the last, the kick and chase. They've got the speed in Gareth Rayner.
And they have the possession with Horn. Oh, Martin stripped that ball away. Play on, back to 0.
Seconds remaining. They've got to get the message out to Rayner. Get into the middle of the field, then the kick and chase.
Jackson, here's Rayner. There's the kick and chase.
Was he taken out?
No, he wasn't. Was he?
That's it. They've hung on.
St Helens have won. An exciting match. Sean McRae will take no consolation from that. Ian Millwood, that's win number 8 on the run. And the pressure continues to build at the top of the table. But with Warrington's victory at Leeds, boy, the pressure continues to build at the bottom as well. Sean McRae waits to try and get out past the supporters to greet his players as they come off the field. He'll be disappointed with the defeat, maybe a little bit more satisfied with the second half effort. 3 tries to 2 Hull scored in that second half, but St Helens, you have to give it to them. They dig deep, they defend when necessary, they play with flair and flamboyance when they can, and they have gone home with the victory here. Their 8th win in a row. 32 points to 30. And all we hope now is that the Great Britain contingent have come through this match unscathed. There's the final score. It was a nail-biter in the end. Saints have won it by 2 points. Man of the match, he's off to Australia with a brand new watch. Paul Sculthorpe, here he is with Bill.
Paul, congratulations. Second week running. In the end, you really had to cling on there.
Yeah, it was. We knew it'd be a tough game. There was no tougher place to come than Boulevard. You know, top 5 team, and you know, a great 2 points.
At one point, you looked as though you were cruising. Did you maybe take your foot off the gas, do you think?
No, all credit to Hull. You know, they kept playing and played some tremendous rugby. You know, our boys stuck in there well, and the main thing is we got the 2 points.
How difficult was it, giving your all tonight as you did, knowing that you've got to get on a plane tomorrow?
Yeah, it's no problem. You know, the boys are professional, and you know, this is one of our biggest games of the season. You know, we know they're going to be pushing for the top 2 end of the year, and you know, we need the points.
So now your thoughts turn to the flight tomorrow and then Friday week.
Yeah, looking forward to it. You know, we said straight after the Ashes series last year, we couldn't wait to have another crack at them, and you know, we're ready to go.
Wish you all the best of luck, Paul.
That's what will.
Let's bring Phil Clark in now. And did you sit through that game thinking, oh no, don't hit him so hard?
A little bit, but I think like the players take each day as it comes. I think you've got to do that. We just watch the game, hope for the best, and then we assess the situation after the match. I thought again we were served a magnificent game. Hull's come back in the second half, just shows what character they've got, and I think any other side wouldn't have been able to hang on, but Saints were real quality today. I mean, it was almost like basketball, wasn't it, at the end? It came down to the last play of the day. Hull just didn't quite have the ability to pull it off, but great game and great performance. I thought St Helens in the first half were magnificent.
And Hull weren't, and they'll be regretting that. It was a slow burner, wasn't it, from them?
Yeah, it was. They didn't start the game particularly well, and really they allowed St Helens to dominate the first half. Really just got themselves behind, but certainly a lot to play, and I thought they hung in well, they came back well, and it was a really pleasing game. I mean, we're so lucky, aren't we, in Super League this year? We've just had some magnificent games.
And relieved that your guys came through tonight.
Yeah, it seems that way. Keep our fingers crossed for all the other matches now, and you know, we just wish all the players the best, I think, on the trip down under.
Wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, Ian Millward's here. Let's bring the Saints coach in. In the end, you were clinging on there, weren't you?
Well, they're a good team, aren't they? You know what I mean? We got no right to just come up here and win, and you know, they played well, and I think both teams contributed a great game.
And do you think that, I mean, obviously the hard work was done, it was done throughout the 80 minutes, but the first half you were at your top.
Yeah, we created a lot of opportunities early, and we took advantage. It's probably a lot we didn't take advantage of too, but you know, it's very similar to the semi-final here last year. You know, when we got to the lead and they started pegging us back, but you know, we got to look at some good things in defence from us too.
I think a lot of Great Britain supporters will have been very anxious to see Kieran Cunningham sitting on the sidelines with a pack of ice clutched to his eye. What's the news there?
I wouldn't have a clue, mate. I haven't been in the dressing room yet. I wouldn't know. I just got to take my hat off to Sculthorpe tonight. I thought he's outstanding, and if he plays like that in Australia, he give Great Britain a chance.
Thanks very much, Ian.
Okay.
Well, the news from
Thanks
Kieran.
a lot, Bill. I think you've finished. Yes, you have. Thanks very much, Bill. Ian Millward then just out of the, or just on his way back into the dressing room. We'll check on the Kieran Cunningham situation. I'm sure that a poke in the eye won't stop Cunningham getting on that plane. And as Phil Arthur said there, as Phil Clark said there, the Great Britain manager, let's hope that all the other players around the country tonight who are involved in the Super League, let's hope that they come through unscathed as well. But boy, there'll be some bruised bodies from St Helens, Steve-o. That was a real hang-on in the end.
Yeah, they certainly did, and I think their coach summed it up rightly when they said that the defence, especially in that second half, was superb. Hull made a different game in that second half. They made so many breaks, but they really wanted to get off to that flying start, as we often say, but it turned out to be the other way. Jason Smith applying the pressure. His kicking game came to the fore in this second stanza. Albert took that on the fly. Look at that. Bang. Straight away. Why he came on the inside, maybe we'll never know, but when you make a break like that, look at the Hull defence. They were very, very slow to pull across, and once they got it out wide, there was no stopping this fella, Newlove. Once you get 3-on-2 out wide in the centres, it's pretty difficult to stop. Mackay then came back, and it looked as though they could be running out of steam, this St Helens side. They used a dummy runner, Mackay far too strong out wide there, and maybe they were coming back into it, and especially you thought that way. But this run, they run so well from the dummy half. Chris Joint again out wide, been a bit of a nightmare for Hull out in the centres in defensive wise. And then we saw Carvel take the ball. Jason Smith run the dummy on the blind side, and the big fellow went over for a try. And then when Saints were down to actually 11 men, Jason Smith went over for the try, set it up for, well, what should have been a thriller, and it was a thriller up there, but full credit yet again for this St Helens outfit. Not only are they entertainers, but when it comes down to doing the hard work in defence, they know when to stick it in, and they did in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yes, they did. Let's take a look at what all tonight's results means in terms of the top of the Super League table. As you can see, Bradford and St Helens stay 4 points clear of Wigan. Leeds and Hull have lost a bit of ground, as have Widnes. It means now that if London beat Castleford on Saturday night, they will not only be in with a chance of 6th, but they will also have a little bit of a thought about maybe getting 5th or 4th. But Castleford, if they win, they will be back in the hunt as well. It's going to be one of those seasons. This, we've said it from day one, and we're being proved week in, week out, it's the best Super League ever.
Without a doubt. Shock.
I should also, Steve-O, mention that Warrington win as well at the other end of the table.
Yeah, it's an amazing...
How important might that be?
Well, it is. It's very important indeed, and I think that also Sean McRae realises that those 2 points that they've missed out on tonight, that could also be important because they're not safe in the top 6. That's how it is. It's all go for London now, and Castleford, well, it's a must-win for them.
It is indeed. Must win for Castleford. I would say must win for London as well. Before all of that, though, we're in Australia for the first time in the next 8 days or so. The Bulldogs and the Eagles, 10:30.